Hi, I'm 11 Alive's Jonathan Martin. Right now, so many people are feeling the pressure of rising rent, housing prices, and just everyday expenses. In our series, Affording Atlanta, we're taking a closer look at the cost of living in the city and offering ways that you might be able to save. First, a type of real estate that's booming across Atlanta, homes built to rent.
I love the kitchen because of the large island, the finishes as far as the countertops.
Just a week into his new space, and Kenneth Brown already feels more at home.
I love the backyard. I love the driveway. I love the garage. I love the space.
After years of living in an apartment, he moved into South Pine, a new townhome rental community in South Fulton County. For just over $2,100 a month, he says he enjoys the space and privacy of a single-family home without the responsibilities of home ownership.
I enjoy having a maintenance team on site where I can just call the office and say, hey, my refrigerator needs to be fixed, instead of paying for that stuff out of pocket.
Build-to-rent communities like this one are popping up all over the metro. In fact, Atlanta ranks third behind Phoenix and Dallas for the most single-family rentals in the construction pipeline.
The demand is there, so the market is responding.
Sean Rust is with Next Metro, the developers behind South Pine, with another build-to-rent neighborhood planned for Stockbridge.
And what we find in Atlanta is with the great job base and how much prices have really risen, there is a great demand for this alternative lifestyle.
But there are critics of the build-to-rent model. Some feel it favors investors who buy up the properties for rent over individual homeowners in an already tough housing market.
So much of the new stock of homes being built is actually going directly into the rental portfolios of these large companies, and potential homebuyers never even have a chance to bid on them in the way that they once would have.
Georgia State University Associate Geography Professor Taylor Shelton has extensively researched Atlanta's housing market. He says single-family rentals saturating Atlanta suburbs can give corporate landlords the upper hand.
That's giving them a kind of level of market power or control over the housing market in these areas, which allows them to raise rents. It allows them to neglect maintenance.
But for Kenny, until home prices and mortgage rates come down, he plans to keep renting. And he's happy he no longer has to worry about noise from neighbors above or below him.
You say, hey, give me a pose, and
hand on the hip.
Listen, and she's gonna give you that side eye.
Raising a child has been the most rewarding life experience for Siobhan Cooper. It's also been one of the most expensive.
It's mind-boggling, the amount of money that you spend just on the basics. I think about what was I doing with this money before?
The single mother says her 5-year-old daughter, Juniper, is busy with ballet, swimming, and soccer. Add in the cost of food, clothing, and childcare.
Everything comes at a price, and everything is at an individual price, and everything is increased each year. A
new report finds it costs more than $19,000 a year to raise a small child in Georgia. Over 18 years, it's more than $200,000, up nearly 14% in just the past 2 years.
Most of it is around housing and childcare.
Kanita Smith runs the Atlanta nonprofit Hope Inc., helping low-income single mothers pursuing a college degree with childcare, food, and housing assistance. As costs are rising, Smith says it's important for parents to stick to a budget.
Look at your spending, track that, and make plans around that, especially if you have things that you know will come up. Like right now we're looking at graduation, so some parents may have seniors in high school, senior dues, proms, but plan for those things.
Hope Inc.'s budget coaching is helping Nikki Blunt, a mother of 3.
So they definitely help me and give me insight on where is every dollar going, because we have to be accountable for every dollar. Also with investing and making sure we have just a little savings put up.
That's her when she was an infant.
For Siobhan, she's saving by eating out less and limiting extracurricular activities.
There are certain times where we've had to talk, okay, you want to do soccer and you want to do karate, but which one do you love more?
With the goal of providing everything her daughter needs and some of what she wants. Most mornings start with a mile walk from her home along the Beltline.
Hi, how are you doing?
Then Laura Dunn hops on the MARTA streetcar to head downtown. That's where we caught up with the Georgia State student who considers herself a pro navigating Atlanta without a car the past 2 years. Why did you decide to go carless?
I just could not afford my car at that point in my life.
Whether it's traveling to campus, a store, or her part-time job, Laura gets there riding MARTA rails, buses, or a bike, taking most of her trips before dark, and she says she feels safe.
If I'm going somewhere new, I kind of like map out like the day before and see like how much time it's going to take.
How much are you saving every month or every week?
I would say like my gas is probably like $60 to $80 a week. So using like a 7-day pass is like $23.75, like I told you. So about like $50 to $60, which I mean comes in handy, especially these days.
She uses MARTA's On-the-Go app and Apple Maps to track transit schedules in real time, but they aren't always reliable.
Kind of getting anxious, like, is the bus gonna come? Like, it's not on time.
While it works for her, many will tell you getting around Metro Atlanta without a car is challenging. 94% of Atlanta households have at least one car, according to a recent census survey. What's your advice to someone who's thinking about going carless?
I think that they need to at least go experience the places that they're going to travel to without a car.
She says not only can you save money, but it's a chance to interact with new people and appreciate parts of the city you may never see.
Please stand clear of the door.
Still ahead, once overlooked, an old Atlanta neighborhood is now on the rise. But can it remain affordable? And borrowing to buy groceries, the warning before using buy now, pay later loans.
This was a picture where he was laughing. So my dad was an academic. He was very stoic.
After losing his father more than 2 years ago, Eric Payne started thinking about his own mortality and his goal to leave a financial legacy to his children, like his father did for him.
I now own this house and ultimately will own my parents' house as well. And the same thing financially, I want to be able to transfer real estate and home ownership to my kids.
Payne set up a trust, a legal contract outlining how and when his home and other assets will be distributed.
But the problem is that if you don't take care of it, you're leaving it as a burden for somebody else to take care of it.
Passing down real estate is a key way to build wealth, but it can be problematic when there's no estate plan. Only 24% of Americans have a will or other estate planning documents.
The number one thing that people say when they call my office is that, I don't have much. And it doesn't matter if you just have a house. Just having a house is enough. It is important because your family worked for it.
Estate planning attorney Amber Saunders says too often families without a plan lose generational property due to family disputes and mismanaged funds, a forced sale, or a probate court decision when ownership isn't clear.
And then they get sold on the courthouse steps. And then if they don't know what to do or they can't find relatives, those properties aren't redeemed. And then now there's a new owner of the property.
Saunders says first, have a conversation with your family about your wishes. Then take an inventory of your assets. In addition to creating a will or trust, which can be expensive, Georgia allows a transfer on death deed, so a property owner can designate who receives a home, avoiding the probate process.
It belongs to you, so it belongs to your family and it should be passed down. No one else should be able to come in and take it. Your estate plan is the last love letter you get to write to your family.
You had it. You can't take it with you. Don't give it away.
Just over 2 miles south of downtown Atlanta, you'll notice vibrant murals as you enter the Pittsburgh community. There are also new homes and apartments, with hundreds more planned for this lot along the Beltline. Lifelong resident Stephanie Flowers sees the influx of new neighbors.
I think people are moving here because Pittsburgh communities is still affordable and that they know that it's a change that is happening in the community.
Once known as a crime hotspot with dozens of rundown vacant properties,
it was a bad neighborhood, a neighborhood where you name it, you had people using drugs, selling drugs, alcohol, prostitution, violent crime.
The community is transforming. The most significant change in the past 5 years here in Pittsburgh has easily been the opening of Pittsburgh Yards, a community-led development focused on job growth and entrepreneurship. The so-called Job Hub has more than 100 office suites, allowing small businesses to rent space for as little as $400 a month, with a goal of growing and keeping them in this community.
Affordability of commercial space is an issue. We speak of housing affordability in our community, but we have to recognize that our legacy businesses are also being pushed out of the community.
But the shift in Pittsburgh started more than a decade ago. After the foreclosure crisis hit the area especially hard, nonprofits like the Atlanta Land Trust and Annie E. Casey Foundation stepped in.
There was a 33% vacancy rate within this neighborhood. So the foundation purchased 53 homes and spent the better part of the next 15 years working with nonprofit developers to rehabilitate, or in some cases construct new homes that were sold at affordable price points.
The average home value in the area is just under $260,000.
We see $500,000 home pop up.
But Stephanie says $500,000 home sales are becoming more common, leaving some legacy residents balancing the desire for revitalization with concerns about being priced out through gentrification.
Popcorn, all right.
Carolyn Corey lives on a fixed income, even with the help of SNAP benefits. She says buying groceries each week is a struggle.
And it was running me from $50 to sometimes $200 a week. I can't afford that.
That's why she's thankful the Gooder Community Market in Southwest Atlanta offers free groceries to local families once a month. Founder Jasmine Crow Houston says demand has surged.
We received over 1,400 submissions for 300 spots, and many of those submissions came within the first 48 hours. So the need is so high.
The financial pressure also appears to be driving more Americans to use buy now, pay later loans, even for basic needs like food. A new Lending Tree survey shows 25% of people using these types of loans are buying groceries this way, nearly double the number from last year.
People are desperate, and I think that's why they're turning towards being able to split it up over time.
Then you have the ability to pay maybe over 4 payments with no interest and no credit check, and it's a very attractive option.
Tara Alderante with Money Management International says the convenience can come with a catch. 41% of buy now, pay later users made a late payment in the last year, up from 34% the year before.
But if you do that 5 or 6 times, that can really impact your bottom line each month, and I think people can see that start to spiral.
She recommends carefully budgeting, tracking each loan, and setting up reminders so you don't miss a payment. For Carolyn, rising prices mean she has to stretch every dollar and every meal.
I'll make it stretch out for about 2 weeks.
For others, borrowing to buy the basics has become the way to get by. For more Affording Atlanta stories, join us right here each week on 11 Alive Plus.